Recently, the World Heavyweight Championship got vacated. And here's what I think should happen next. So, we know that Seth Rollins is going to be out for a long time. That's why the World Heavyweight title was vacated. And we know they wrote him out of storyline by having the Vision turn on him so that he could recover from his injury. We also know now that CM Punk and Jey Uso are the number one contenders, and they will face each other at Saturday night's main event next month for the vacant world title. But I think there's one of three scenarios that could happen. The first scenario is that CM Punk wins. I don't think Jey Uso will win, and nor do I think he should, because he's got a lot going on right now. He's got the feud with LA Knight. They are teasing tensions between him and Jimmy Uso. We could see another brother versus brother match down the line, this time with Jey as the heel and Jimmy as the face. And they also teased something with Roman Reigns a few weeks ago. Maybe we could see another match between those two. Roman never apologized to Jey, and Jey's never beaten Roman one-on-one. So Jey Uso shouldn't win, nor do I think anyone wants to see him win the world title again, because his first reign was kind of lackluster. He needs some gap between this and his next world title. CM Punk, on the other hand, winning here makes absolute sense because he could continue his feud with the Vision. We know they wanted Punk to continue to feud with the Vision. He was going to get another world title shot. But now that Rollins is injured, they could still have him feud with the Vision. Imagine if CM Punk wins, and then after that, Braun Breaker starts challenging him for the world title. Or maybe even Brock Lesnar returns because he's aligned with Paul Heyman. And then he challenges for the world title. Lesnar versus Punk, that would be a very interesting match. I want to see that, the best versus the beast. The last time these two faced each other in 2013, Paul Heyman turned on Punk as well and aligned himself with Lesnar. So there's a lot of history between all three of these men together. I think it would be great for them to have another match. Imagine if Seth Rollins eventually came back as a babyface while Punk was feuding with the Vision, and he teamed up with Punk to face the Vision. That could put an end to their rivalry as well. We could finally get some closure there. So that is the first scenario. I think CM Punk could win the World Heavyweight title and have a nice reign as champion for at least a few months. But I think the second scenario is Braun Breaker wins the World Heavyweight title. Now you might be saying, well, how will Braun Breaker win the World Heavyweight title when he's not even in the match? Well, in the most recent episode of Raw, we saw Paul Heyman lecturing Braun Breaker backstage on political maneuvering. So maybe he does pull some strings. Maybe he does help Braun Breaker get involved in the match in the next few weeks. Maybe it becomes a triple threat. Maybe he comes out last minute before Punk and Jey are about to start their match and announces it's now a three-way and inserts Breaker into the match. But if Breaker becomes World Heavyweight Champion, I mean, not only is that something everybody wants to see, but he has a very natural first feud ahead of him, which is CM Punk. Then later on, Brock Lesnar could come around and we could have a match between those two as well. Imagine if Breaker beats Lesnar at WrestleMania and retains the world title. That would put him over so big time. He'd go to a whole new level of superstar. Even if Breaker remains a heel and Rollins eventually returns, you have a natural story there as well. Babyface Rollins versus Braun Breaker. But I think most likely if Breakker wins, he'll eventually turn face down the line and feud with Brock Lesnar, who will remain heel and who will be on the side of the Vision. Now, the third scenario, and this is actually, I think, one of the most interesting, is we could actually have Brock Lesnar be the one to get involved in this match. Maybe Paul Heyman pulls some strings, but he gets Brock Lesnar inserted into the match, not Braun Breaker. We've never seen Cowboy Brock win a world title as a heel. He's done it before as a face over 3 years ago in 2022. He hasn't done so as a heel, and he's never won the World Heavyweight Championship. He's also never led a heel faction before, because he's never needed to. He's Brock Lesnar. He doesn't need a faction to back him up. So having Brock Lesnar win here would be very unique. He could have another match with Punk and defend his title. And then imagine if Braun Breaker wins the Royal Rumble. And then after that, Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar are trying to convince him to face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. But he does a Batista style. Let's pull it up. He does a Batista style thumbs down towards Lesnar and Heyman. And then has a match in Mania with them and beats Lesnar and wins the World Heavyweight title. That would be so cool. So I think this is what should happen. I think these are the three most likely scenarios and the three things that I would love to see happen. Either CM Punk wins the World Heavyweight title again. Either Braun Breaker wins the World Heavyweight title and leads the Vision. Or finally, maybe Brock Lesnar comes back, gets inserted into the match, wins the title, leads a heel faction, and then finally puts over Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. Now that would be awesome.